Yep. So the hard stop is the launch party at 1, and we are live. Look at that. Okay, cool. So, hello everybody. What's up, storytellers? I am Clark Ronson, the magic engineer, and we are here for the live stream finale of our new Eternity um tabletop RPG adventure. My brain just kind of stalled on me for a minute there, which is okay because I don't seem to be getting any of the chat update stuff. So I'm trying to make sure I get any chat. It might be because we have nobody present. That is also possible. Um, and yeah, and that is okay. So real quick, just gonna go around, and if you guys could give me like a 30-second intro to you and your character. We want to keep it tight so that we can make sure we wrap things up in time to go to the launch party at 1. So, Aaron, Fitch Spark. All right, Rainy. Literally. Yep. Excellent. Barney, give us a quick intro to you and Quindle. We'll go with Squirrel Ken. It's- Yes. Excellent. Ian, uh, oh, that's not good. They say that nobody else has audio. Um, I am using OBS. Yes, so like everybody's audio is showing up in OBS for me. So it's going from video into OBS correctly. I'm having something going wrong from OBS into For what? It's something with oh boy. Okay. It's supposed to be outputting all audio tracks. If somebody could Google this while I am looking, this would be helpful. Hooray, technical issues. Global audio devices. Um, well, thank you, Kit, for letting me know that you couldn't hear everybody. Otherwise, this would have been very interesting recording. Um, Hotkeys, no, no, no. That is a good question. Since they couldn't hear you, I will repeat that. Kit, could you check if there's anything with your audio settings that might be changing that? I don't know what that could possibly be. Okay. Uh-huh. Yeah, which I've got that. I've got all of the tracks enabled. I got everybody on their individual track. That's how I recorded everybody's stuff separately when we did our recordings previously. Okay. The problem is I have you guys all separate. Um, yep. Okay. Okay. Then here's what we're gonna do. Um, okay. Okay. Well, now I just changed it, um, but it doesn't seem to be popping up. Thank you, everybody watching, for your patience. That's what I'm trying to find because I haven't Yeah. Okay, we'll take another 5. I'm just going to take another couple minutes to see if I can figure this out. Let's see. YouTube not receiving all audio channels from OBS. Yeah. Da, 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 da. Okay, let me try this. Basically, is that going to work? That is not working. The problem with YouTube is if I do that, it can be it can be strange sometimes. You have to start like an entirely new stream. Okay, hang on. Ah, crap. Okay. This is very exciting. That's the thing. I have OBS working. It's YouTube that is not capturing all of my audio channels. Okay, let me. Okay, okay. Okay, okay. Then here's what I'm gonna do.
At the top of the screen, you have one more outbound connection than you have windows open right now. You've got 7 outbound connections, and there's the 5 of us plus the audio track, so 6. So I don't know if there is an extra floating thing going on in Video Ninja that is messing up with everything.
Okay, so I just moved everybody over to channel 1.
Aha.
People
Can
on
they
Checking.
hear us now?
Yep.
You're
All at once.
I can hear. I'm on YouTube now, Clark. I hear everybody's voices now on YouTube.
Hey,
Okay.
all right.
We got there.
Okay, so that's good to know for the future that I can't have everybody on separate channels, which is frustrating because I only have 6 channels to play with. So that's
and this is the point where we remember in the VOD to put a timestamp in at 17 minutes for people to skip ahead to when you can hear everybody.
yes.
Marker.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Take 2.
I need to get one of those. I actually do that when I'm recording my videos, except I don't. I snap my fingers.
I usually do with my tongue. I'll do.
Oh, as somebody who edits a lot of audio, that's like there's the noise. I'm like,
yeah, but it gives you like very clear spikes
right.
to jump to,
And that's
so that you don't
that's
have to
like
listen to everything.
That's an audiobook narrator trick too. They get a dog clicker
Mhm.
And whenever they
for
make a mistake,
punch-ins.
they'll click the dog clicker because it makes a very distinct waveform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I do is I
Clever.
snap once when I'm starting a take, and then I snap twice if it was a good take. So then when I'm scrolling through, I can just jump to where there's the double spikes.
Oh.
Anyway,
Oh.
so
That's a good
thank
idea
you
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
to our viewers for waiting around for 20 minutes. This stuff. We're just gonna do. I'm just gonna do a really quick recap. We're actually gonna dive into some of the other stuff. We're gonna have to recover some time. So in the last 2 sessions, our heroes showed up at Titan Crest. They got a job. They then got a counteroffer on the same job. They traveled into the woods and ran into a bizarre creature that we were just calling a pig pansy, and that had some weird bug in it that was controlling it. They made their way to Catrice's lair, basically.
We did.
Were able to sweet talk their way past Zyla, who was the tree guardian. Several of them ate pine cones. They went into the root bower where they found Catrice dead, and they started doing some investigation. There were a number of traps. There were some other things that were interesting. And at the very end, a whole bunch of plant insects started swarming through. And Dendron blocked the area off to hold back the swarming insects that were rapidly tearing him apart, and set himself on fire with an ability that we hadn't seen yet before. And
As you do.
then Dendron died as the others made their escape.
Yeah.
So the last thing that happened at the end of part 2 was all of the characters hit a character milestone.
Nice.
So this is more admin game stuff, but I'm very excited for this because this is one of my favorite parts of the game system that I built for this story. So all of this stuff has been reactive. Like they have been getting skills as they go, which that is something I forgot to do this past week, was to go back and look at what skills you guys got. It's fine. And when you hit a milestone, you hit a significant portion, you get a bunch of theme options based on what you were doing and how you were doing them. So for example, I'm going to go through Lodestone's milestone a bit more in detail so you can see what I'm talking about. So he, if I can find, there we go. He got the option for the cliff theme. Oh, and when you hit a milestone, when you pick a theme, each theme will increase 1 attribute score and 1 skill by 1 point each. So his options were cliff, +1 endurance, +1 falling. Falling is a skill, yes. You have moved through the cliffs and, more importantly, utilize the advantages they provide. Dimension theme, rank 1, +1 attunement, +1 planar sense. You have crossed dimensions traveling into the plane of the verdant hive and back. Earth, rank 1, +1 stability, +1 digging. Your focus and intention rests not just on what is before you, but what is and what belongs beneath you. Maul, rank 1, +1 strength, +1 maul. You wield an unwieldy and surprisingly you may Wow, I wrote that well. You wield an unwieldy weapon with surprising versatility and deftness. Respect, rank 1, +1 composure, +1 reverence. You give everything the respect it deserves, be it a given word, a warning, or a life lost. So those were the themes that Lodestone had to pick from. So which of the 2 themes did you decide on? Ian?
The two themes that I ended up taking were earth and respect.
So this is where things get more interesting. When you hit certain thresholds with ranks, first rank being the main one, but then later ranks, as you can get multiple ranks in specific themes, you get access to new ability options. So because it was rank 1 in both Earth and in Respect, Lodestone got to pick from a selection of special abilities. The special abilities that he got were Command Earth. Your connection to Aeonia has increased, and you can shape and move stone and soil with your will. And there's a whole bunch of technical details about how that works and how the bond point cost varies as he's doing that. Don't need to get into that. He also got Stone Hurler, which was an interesting one, where as long as his poise was above 0, it would allow him to hurl stones, natural stones, as though he were throwing them with a sling. And it would also give him an option to expend poise to use strength instead of precision, because sling is generally a precision weapon. It would let him use muscle for it and allow him to auto-inflict certain banes if he dealt enough damage.
Nice.
And then
Nice.
the other one that was really fun, because as you go through, there's a limited number of special abilities the characters can have. You have a certain number of slots, but they can all be enhanced. So he actually got an option for an enhancement. He has an ability called Slingshot, which, as long as he starts in contact with the ground or stone or a soil surface, he can move such that he ignores gravity for 20 feet, whether that is him just scaling a cliff like we saw before, or him launching himself through the air. He has a lot of options. So he got an option for a slingshot enhancement and the enhancement was called Earth Stride. So this would allow him to ignore unworked earth and stone while moving with the slingshot ability. Basically, he could meld through stone and pop up on the other side of things. So of those options, which one did Lodestone pick?
Lodestone took Command Earth.
Yes. And with the respect theme, the options he had were respectable. And this is one where you practically radiate a sense of respectability and trustworthiness while active. You gain advantage on social checks. You get additional levels of advantage if you have already proven yourself to this person. So it really is
Nice.
just playing on like, you seem like somebody that people should respect and trust, and that comes into play. Then there's final respects, where it is a ritual that Lodestone can perform. And for every 5 minutes he spends on the ritual, there are additional effects that he can pick from, including asking questions of the dead, making sure that
Ooh.
their body can't be profaned, making sure that they don't spread any disease or infection or anything as a corpse, or even helping somebody who is dying pass peacefully. And then there was Hearken to Me was his third option, which allows him to, the Bane is called Provoke. Basically, what it does is he makes it so people can't ignore him. In combat or outside of combat, if he uses Hearken to Me on somebody, they suffer levels of disadvantage if they try and do any negative action to anybody but him.
Hmm.
So of those three abilities, which one did Lodestone pick?
Lodestone is taking Final Respects, and you're going to see why I picked those two here in a little bit.
Yes. And then things get even more fun because our players started with just 2 themes. This milestone brings them up to 4. Now, in this game system, you get your character class by combining 3 themes into a unique character class. So at this point, I almost said Dendron. Lodestone has what are your first 2? I don't have your first 2 written down.
My first two are Gravity and Resilience.
Right. So he's got Gravity, Resilience, Respect, and Earth. And that combines into 4 class options for him to pick from. And it can kind of explode if you don't like those class options. You can wait, you can get more themes, and then you can see that like the number of class options you have grows very rapidly. So his options were Bedrock Sentinel, which was a combination of Gravity, Resilience, and Earth. These are immovable guardians who anchor themselves to the earth and become nearly impossible to move or break. They excel at holding ground, creating stable foundations, and being the rock others rely on in a crisis.
Nice.
The next option he had was the Inevitable Vigilant, combination of Gravity, Resilience, and Respect. Solemn, unstoppable protectors that maintain watchful guardianship over people, places, and sacred trusts. They stand firm, using their abilities to ensure they can withstand any onslaught, earn the trust and awe of others, and be the ultimate arbiter of what moves and what does not. Then there was the Aeonian Witness, which the planet they're on is Aeonia. So the Aeonian Witness is a combination of gravity, earth, and respect. A reverent observer who draws the power from their deep connection to Aeonia itself, grounding themselves in the planet's weight and significance. They solve problems by tapping into the land's memory and power, sensing what the Earth has witnessed, reading geological and spiritual signs, and channeling the planet's gravity to lend weight to important moments or oaths. And his final class option was the Honored Stone Guard. The combination there was Earth, Resilience, and Respect. Honored Stone Guards are steadfast defenders who become as unyielding as the stone itself when protecting others. They overcome challenges through sheer endurance and physical resilience, weathering attacks, holding checkpoints, and outlasting any threat through their stone-like fortitude combined with their proper respect for their charge. So of those 4 options, which did Lodestone pick?
Lodestone is going with Aeonian Witness. So
Ooh.
earth, gravity, and respect.
And the decision fatigue isn't over yet, because since he got a new character class, he got a host of class abilities to pick from. And this is one of the things that I absolutely love about the system, is how much it branches and how many possibilities they are. But let me tell you, it was exhausting to write and manage all of this, both in the book and doing it here. Like, it's very cool. But the class abilities that he got available. Oh, one extra thing. He got a class feature that allows him to convert poise into bond points or bond points into poise at a 2-to-1 conversion ratio.
But only for powering abilities.
But only for powering abilities. He can't use it for managing defenses.
That's still awesome.
Yeah. So the class ability options he had were core driver. When you strike straight down at a target, driving them toward the core of Aeonia, you gain advantage on damaging attacks, advantage 2 on Bane attacks, and you gain an additional level of advantage if the attack comes from at least 5 feet above the target. And Aeonia Restores, which would allow him to heal an additional 1d4 health each hour that you are in contact with Aeonia, which is a big deal. Health is not easy to recover. And then Aeonia Senses, which would give him Tremor Sense and allow to detect tremors and movement through or across the earth within a certain radius around him. So which character ability did Lone Stone pick?
Well, because he is all about his big ol' hammer, we went with core driver, because I am going to break some things.
Excellent. So I'm not going to go through all of the options that everybody had, because as much fun as that would be for me, and as much fun as it was and time consuming as it was to create all of these, I'm just going to go through each person. If you guys can tell us which 2 themes you picked, which abilities you took for that theme, if you got a new ability, and then your class and your class ability. So, or is that going to be too much? Should we just stick with themes and class? How much time do we got? Yeah, just real quickly. Theme abilities, class, and class ability. Aaron.
Okay. So the 2 themes that I chose were charisma and manifestation. So for the charisma theme rank, I chose calming presence. You are able to calm a target down, making them feel more friendly and tolerant toward you. This only changes their attitude toward you moderately. If they're about to strike you, they will restrain themselves, still angry and hostile, but no longer violent. If they want to help you and are leaning toward trusting you, but have some hesitation because, well, you've just met, then that hesitation goes away. And then I chose for the manifestation theme rank, the world provides. The world never throws more at you than you can manage. Even when it does, there are usually means to address it nearby. Using this ability, you find the means to negate the effects of extreme heat, cold, or radiation for 1 minute, or to find essential sustenance for one person or tree person for a short interval. And I chose to be a prismatic piper.
Which is from the combination of charisma, light, and manifestation.
Love it.
A captivating musician who manifests dazzling light constructs and effects through their flute playing, bending reality to match their melodies. They approach problems by creating spectacular displays that mesmerize audiences, conjuring solid light constructs shaped by their music, and using their performance to literally reshape their environment. Walls of light, blinding radiance, intricate illusions, all born from a single note. And
Sorry,
the ability
I
that
just realized all of this stuff, all of these things about me doing things on separate audio channels, and I didn't start recording. Just live stream. I'm gonna start that now.
Well, the good news is you can
Welcome,
download
The YouTube video.
the audio from YouTube.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it will
Yes.
all be in one channel. I won't be able to
Oh, yeah.
that portion of the audio. Anyway, the ability that you chose.
And the ability that I chose, I think I'm going to use this one now, in fact, on Clark. I chose Recovery Riff. You play a short rhythmic phrase on your flute to embolden and reinvigorate yourself or an ally. Roll your force attribute dice without a d20. The target may then recover poise, wit, or bond points, which are really all kind of like our health in a way, equal to the value rolled as they desire. You may not recover your own bond points this way. That would be quite cheeky. This ability will heal a minimum of your force divided by 2, rounded up, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And there we are.
So yeah, Prismatic Piper, who is going into more of a support role. So, Rennie, why don't you tell us what Dendron got? Let's go ahead
Yeah.
and just keep it to the flavor text.
Yeah, I was
if
gonna
there
say
is any.
any percent speed run.
Yeah.
I took my 2 new themes are nature and rebirth, which go and add on to my fire and growth from before. So for nature, I took the ability reaching boughs, which as a minor action, I can basically like burst grow my limbs a little longer and extend my melee reach for
Nice.
attacks. For rebirth, the ability that I chose was revival seed, which allows me to imbue a seed that I then basically like stick onto one of my friends, or maybe they
Oh.
eat. I'm not really sure, but based on how much
However
of
we want to do it.
yeah, well, maybe I just like stick it in there, like thorn it right into their skin. But basically, however many bond, poise, health, and wit I choose to put into it, if they ever fall and go down to 0 hit points, it actually revives them with however many of those I put into it. And then my class I chose, this was something that Clark and I talked about before we ever did themes, but I chose Phoenix Pine. It is the combination of the fire, growth, and rebirth themes. Basically, I solve my problems by deliberately burning away what's broken and nurture specific replacements. Much like a lot of trees actually do very well after natural burns, that is what Dendron does. And the ability that I got from my Phoenix Pine class, I chose Ashborn, which says I can rise from the flames if I die from fire damage, or if my friends here burn my smoldering core, which we saw for a quick second in the end of the last episode. I regrow from the ashes over the next 3 hours and do not suffer the effects of death's toll when reborn this way, which I'm sure we will learn about shortly.
Mhm.
So that's me.
All right, Quindle.
Nice.
I love the fact that you got legally distinct stim pack.
Yeah. Yes.
Barney, you're up. What themes did you get?
Okay,
if you don't have it,
so
I've got it up and I can read through it if you want.
I got the themes that let me just read off the themes that what I picked, right?
Yeah,
Is
just
that
what you
want me
picked.
to do? Okay, so it was scavenge was the milestone, correct? That's what I
The milestone themes that you picked were scavenge and throw.
right. Yep, scavenge and throw. I tell you, when I threw that acorn, it was a Nexus event that basically
It was.
happened.
It really
Yeah,
was. It was
yeah.
a character defining moment.
Absolutely iconic. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it could have been. That meant throw was in the combination of a lot of his class options and 3 of his 4 class options, but he actually chose the one that didn't have throw. So what class did you pick?
So was that the engineer? No, the field tinkerer.
The field
Was that?
tinker, an adaptive
Ooh.
engineer who spots problems, scavenges solutions, and jury rigs fixes on the fly. And then
Yep.
which class ability did you pick?
Was that the check the bag and shrapnel acorn?
No, that would have been the
No,
most recent
shredder.
email I sent
Okay,
you, where
yes.
you could pick between time crunch, engineered efficiency, and shredder enhancement. I actually don't know if you picked that. Go
Yeah,
ahead and give us your throw and your scavenge ability real quick.
okay. So my throw and scavenge abilities are check the bag, which allows me to rummage through your pile of trinkets and baubles to see if you have something useful for a situation at hand, and roll presence or lodge to determine how useful your stuff. Why doesn't I not see everything? It turns out to be, and then shrapnel acorn. Is your projectile explodes on impact, turning your attack into a 10-foot square AoE attack. And then I picked Shredder Enhancement, which is by grabbing a pre-prepared scrap from your bag, you may add it to the following effect to any attack or attack ability you perform. So I imagine what it is like if I find a couple things, I can wrap it around the acorn and just like throw it. Is that
Kind of what I pictured is that you probably have these little things already built. You have these little bundles of just like jagged stuff that you can either stuff you can either drop an acorn into, you can affix to the end of a weapon. Like, it looks clunky as all get up, but it will allow you to, if you do enough damage, it allows him to automatically inflict the bleeding bane, which does damage every round.
And I'd imagine I would do that when I'm like, like when I've, while I'm sitting there kind of like, perched on Dendron, is like, I'll just like go, because I fidget a lot. So I'll probably
Yes.
just like build
Yes.
things as I'm like talking and everything. So
that was the
Yeah.
idea I was going through with a lot of the field tinker stuff, is these are things that are based on the idea of it's stuff that you kind of put into play, like you put into play while you're just fidgeting and randomly doing things. Like one of them, engineered efficiency, would let you like decrease your max wit to decrease the resource cost of other abilities,
right.
and stuff like that. But I'm going to leave it there. I very much love this part of the system. I love how expansive it gets. It can be overwhelming with like the choice fatigue, and if I did my job right, it was very hard for these guys to pick their classes and abilities. And so then that just brings me to one thing that I forgot to do at the beginning, which is okay. Well, no, you guys would have heard me, so that would have been fine. But I need to do the disclaimer. Can you tell that I am a little frantic and on edge from everything going on today, with the book releasing yesterday and then the launch party in 3 hours and 20 minutes? So LMBPN LLC owns all the rights to the logos, book cover, artwork, and book content shown. Everything that we do here is non-canon. This is not actually anything officially approved by LMBPN. What we are doing and what is owned by LMBPN is used with permission for promotional purposes only. LMBPN LLC is not responsible for the content of this adventure and this stream and all of that. So that's a bunch of the exciting stuff. I absolutely love the character class. I hope you guys enjoyed all of the class options and things that popped up.
Oh, it's so fun.
So with that, we can finally dive back into the actual adventure. So the last thing that happened is you guys, 3 of the 4 of you, made your way out of the root bower and into the meadow above.
Nice.
What would you like to do?
He's totally dead. Like, he totally lit himself on fire. He's dead. I have the will. Do we go back to town?
So Lodestone is going to walk past you. He's in a bit of a fugue state at the moment, and you notice that he has Catrice's body slung over one shoulder, and the other half of him is singed. And it's how rocks that have moisture in them, if you get them really hot, they pop and like little flakes start popping off. He's got a couple of these little flakes like exploding off of his arm because he tried to grab Dendron and pull him out with him and was unable to do so. And as he walks by you, Feli, he hands you something, and when you take it, if you take it, you realize that it is a section of Dendron's bark. Specifically the section that our contract with Neb was written on. But he just sort of 1,000-yard stare, hands it to you as he's walking by. And he walks out into the middle of this meadow full of flowers. And he lays Catrice's body down on the ground in these flowers, and he takes this spade that he specifically was looking for before everything just exploded down in the bower, and he just starts cutting the sod, and he cuts out a section about 2 to 3 feet wide, about 6 feet long, and he sort of rolls it up to expose the earth underneath it, and he starts to dig. And as he's starting, it's very very methodical, very calm, very neat, nice clean edges, and he's digging his way down in the center of this meadow, and he's making a nice neat little pile of dirt. And as he goes on, as he progresses through, his actions become more brutish, more brute force, less refined. And he starts stabbing this spade into the ground with more force, and the pile of dirt that he is making with this shovel is just becoming more chaotic, and it's starting to fall back into the hole after him. And he's got all of this anger, all of this pent-up rage, because he was very much in the mindset of, we're not out until we're all out. And while logically in his head he knows that Dendron has probably just respawned back in town, and he's probably sitting in the fish pond with the sun shining on his big stupid tree face, the logic of that is not getting through to him. And he is just angry, and he has this impotent rage that no matter how strong he is, how physical he is, how much he can physically do, that there is a limit to his abilities, and he failed. And he is stabbing the dirt with this shovel, and he's just expressing all of his rage. And at one point he stabs the shovel in, and the handle snaps off. And he just gets down on his hands and knees, and he's just stabbing the ground with the handle of this shovel, completely ignoring the fact that there's nothing on the end of it. It's just, it has devolved into pure impotent rage, just getting it out. And he does it until the handle splinters in his hands, and until he just, in frustration, he just digs his hands into the earth itself and physically rips the earth out of the bottom of this grave that he is digging. And that's when his command earth comes online. Is he just digs in and he just rips the earth out, and with this big, just angry, screaming roar, just rips the earth out of the ground and throws it. And he just sits there for a few minutes, just sort of panting in the bottom. He's so angry he can't even cry. He's just got that level. And then it passes, and he gets up, and he digs through his pack, with all of his standard adventure. Yeah.
How close were you digging this grave to the tree?
Not very. It's probably about 20-25 feet.
Okay.
Out into he went out into the middle of the meadow, like away, as far away from everything as he could get.
Okay.
He specifically decided not to do this by the tree because he didn't want to dig into the tree.
Okay. Continue.
And so he pulls a blanket out of his pack because he's got all of his standard adventuring supplies. And he being 7.5 feet tall, it's a big blanket, and he sort of wraps up Catrice's body in this blanket and sort of a makeshift burial shroud. And he picks one of these yellow flowers that are growing in, and he just sort of tucks it behind her ear, and he lays her down in the bottom of this grave. And this is the point where the post-rage clarity sort of clicks in. And so this is where we're going to be tapping into my final rights, final respectability.
Yeah.
And so see here, because it takes bond points, and I don't have a whole lot of bond points, and it takes 3 bond points for each thing I can do. I can do a total of 4 of these things, and it takes me a whole 20 minutes to do all of that. So the first thing that he would like to do is use determine cause. So you touch the corpse of that died of unknown circumstances and learn the general nature of the death: starvation, poisoning, disease, etc.
Yes. Can you give me a presence roll, please?
And
Presence
question:
roll.
would you
Mhm.
be able to do more things if you had more bond points? Is there more you could do? If you
I think, speaking above the table, player to player, I think everything that he wants to do, he can do
Okay.
with the bond points
Okay,
that he
good.
currently
Okay, good.
has. All right, so my D8 exploded. So that is a total of 24.
24. Yeah. So as you are laying Catrice down for the final rest and examining her body and starting to feel more and more resonance with the soil around her and with what is now just inert flesh and bone and something beyond, you become more and more certain that this was a poison. There was some kind of toxin that killed
Okay.
her.
Okay. And so as I'm going through with all of this, the next thing he is going to do is he is going to start with speak with dead. So I can ask a single yes or no question to the spirit of the deceased. The spirit must answer truthfully, but will give no answer if the answer is more complex than yes or no.
Mhm.
So
my.
the first question that he is going to ask is, were you poisoned when your experiment went awry?
And there's a moment of silence, and then kind of reverberating through parts of your brain, just a vague yes.
Okay. And he is starting to feel the drain of this connection now, because he's used half of his bond points at this point. And then so he's going to ask one more question. It says, did Nakim Ra sabotage your experiment? Because that was his first thought, was that, we have this familiar that is getting involved in all of this, that seems to have a reason to want her gone, but cannot act directly.
You don't get an answer.
Okay. And then so with the very last of his bond points, the last question he is going to ask is, can we trust Neb with your will and testament?
Immediately the answer comes saying yes.
Okay. And so he rises up and he pulls himself up out of the grave, and using his command earth, he gathers up all of the soil that he removed and slowly, gently places it over and compacts it down, and then rolls the now squished sod with all of these crumpled flowers, but he rolls it back over and smooths it back over, and he just sort of gets up, and he just a nice that sort of shuddering, jagged exhale. He says,
Excellent.
Very nice. I think I'm ready to go.
So I'm going to roll back a little bit because Lodestone immediately heads off and starts digging the grave for Catrice. And so Quindle and Felly, you two have just left the bower, and you are next to Zyla. And at first, Lodestone heads off, and you hear, "Oh, hello. Oh, is that what I think it is?"
Well, it's part of our friend. So if that's what you think it is, yes.
Oh. And the branches sort of judder towards Lodestone. And that?
Well, that's the corpse of your friend, Catrice. I'm very sorry.
Thank you for bringing her out. I do not get to see or do anything inside the bower. Catrice helped me become extraordinary, but I could not cross into that place. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there anything you guys would like to do or ask?
You've got about 30 minutes.
How exactly did Catrice help you become extraordinary? Did she change you in some way or teach you things?
Oh, oui. Your trees are more awake than people give them credit for, but it is a different kind of awareness. And Catrice, over time, was able to help me speed up my processing and my thinking, so I could begin to communicate and understand at the rate and in some of the ways that you do.
That is remarkable.
Is there...
Quindle, I don't think I've got any questions for the tree. Do you have any questions, Evany?
Yeah.
I'm going to...
I'm assuming that means you don't want to do anything, Barney.
Oh, sorry.
We're asking Quindle. It's like, I'm not Quindle.
Oh.
What are you talking?
No, yeah.
I am going to read the Will and Testament, however.
Okay. We will get to that in just a second. Was there anything you wanted to do, Quindle?
Yeah. So, what watching the situation here, but I know, like, analytically speaking, is that when somebody dies, they don't really die; they just respawn, right?
Only externals. If
Okay.
Catrice was not an external, she would not respawn.
Right. Do I know that all of us are externals?
I would say very likely, unless there's any reason that any of you wanted to hide that from the others.
Okay.
No.
So I'm for basically what Quindle is doing is acknowledging and respecting the situation, and I am now basically in curiosity mode, wondering where is Dendron now. So it's like I know that, and so I'm giving space. I'm mourning the fact that I lost a friend. Lost a friend potentially, and I am going to the point where I am kind of also consoling Lodestone, and also by rote I am curling up and kind of doing that circle thing around and trying to determine if I can find a perch or a nest in some way on his shoulder, but at the same time also being present in the situation.
Okay. So that sounds good. Feli, you start to read the will. Can you give me an attunement roll real quick?
Yeah. Now, when you reach 5, it's still a D10, is that correct?
When you hit 5, that is 2d6.
Oh.
Right?
Yes.
Or
4,
12.
10. Yeah, so that becomes 2d6.
Okay.
Dendron and Feli both would go 5 in attunement. I feel like it's fitting.
Okay.
And that does remind me of something, but we'll get to that in a moment.
Got it. Okay. Wow. So I get both of these. That's a lot. Okay. So 15 plus 13. Wow.
28.
28.
Okay. So it takes a moment, but the longer you can't make sense of the words right away, which is weird because you can read them, but they aren't making sense. But as you spend time doing so, the meaning starts to clarify around them.
Mm-hmm.
And you are able to read through it. There is a bunch of information about the sealing of the root bower, of passing on some retrieval and passing on of some items to Zyla, and continuing some things, handing some things on to Neb. But as you read, you do find a portion where at the end, where the script seems to be a bit more hasty, and it reads something along the lines of let's see if I can get the accent I had in my head. I no longer can trust Nakimura. He was valuable, but he is acting in strange ways. I think it is time to end this bond, and best for everyone if I return him to the Verdant Plains and keep him there. If I cannot, and somebody finds this, please do what you can.
Oh my. I wonder if Nakimura is a danger to others. The Verdant Plains. Must be some other place. Do I know about the Verdant Plains at all?
Give me a knowledge roll.
Yeah.
With disadvantage.
Yeah, good odds I don't know. Alright, let's see. Well, it's not too bad either way. 18.
18. No, you don't know about that specifically, but yeah, given what you have encountered and some of the logic, that's probably a good bet.
Yeah, I'm thinking she probably summoned him from there or something. Okay, interesting. Okay, wow. So I'm just going to spend the rest of my time playing on my flute, playing some sad mourning music for Lodestone while he works.
Okay. And before you leave, because you were sitting down by Zyla and reading through the will, as you go to leave, one of the branches, you can tell that like movement isn't easy for her, but she can some. One of the smaller branches does dip all the way down and rest on your shoulder for a moment, brushing your neck with the leaves. And Zyla is... There seems to be some kind of sap running from her eyes. And she says, thank you so much. This is breaking some of the rules, but please take these. And from the branch shakes out a number of pine cones, similar to the ones that you had seen before. But here, the resin has a rich brown color, the color of earth, whereas before I think it was more of a light golden color. You may use these or not, but you are welcome back here anytime.
My thanks, Zyla. May you be well. I'm going to put these into my pack.
Okay, so we are going to leave three of these three in the clearing as Lodestone is finishing up with the last rites for Catrice. And we are going to go back to, this is where one thing that I am going to mention, there is very specific terminology that gets used because it's a system, it's a game system that manages this. And I'm not going to get it right because in my foresight, I did not write it down. But for any of you who hit rank 5 in an attribute or a skill, you get a message to the effect of saying, so for Feli, saying, attunement rank 5 reached. You must complete an attunement threshold challenge to advance this attribute further.
Ooh, nice.
All right.
Nice.
I doubt this will come up here, but it's something I want you guys to think about. If there is anything that you have rank 5 in, and then you feel that you have achieved a significant challenge or a significant demonstration with that attribute or ability, call it out. And let me know.
Okay.
So, yeah, Clark, I took a precision 5. I raised precision up. Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Okay. So we are now going to shift over to Dendron, who you have respawned in Titan Crest, and you are hit by a wave of pain. Your head hurts. your head hurts. Your arms hurt. Your bark hurts. Like everything hurts. And you get a notification explaining the effects of Death Toll, which effectively it decreases all of your attributes and skills by 10% of the down to 10% of their current max. So you are probably currently sitting at 1 across the board.
Oof.
You will recover at a rate of 1 point per hour.
Is this rounded up? Or it doesn't matter really. So this is
what do you
just
mean rounded up?
so all of my resource pools, you mean, are sitting at 10% of their max?
No, your attributes and your skills decrease to 10% of their max, and then that will affect the calculation of. So effectively,
so I'm doing nothing.
Will also,
Yeah.
I'm doing nothing for a while. Gotcha.
You're sitting in the fish pond with the sun on your stupid tree face.
That is.
I mean,
definitely.
you do have Ashborn, and you can, and this will, with where you're at, you will be recovered fully in about 5 hours. This is something that gets more and more slow and more detrimental as you go up in ranks.
Right.
As you can see, because like
bigger number
between something like rank 5 and stuff, and then somebody who's at like rank 20 and everything, and then still just coming down to rank 2. It's a slow process, but is there anything you would like to do?
So am I? Well, I mean, I'm in Titan's Crest, but my thought was the only thing I would like to do if I am around and otherwise doing not a whole lot, painfully recovering, shaking off the effects of Death's Toll. Maybe go to the place where I might run into either Neb or Nakim Ra. Would be my thought.
Yeah. So you want to go looking for Neb?
Well, like Lodestone said, he's probably sitting at the pond with the sun in his stupid tree face. That's definitely a comfortable place, and that's where Nakim Ra found me, and also that's right behind the tavern where we met Neb. So I think that's where I'm going, hoping maybe I see one of the two of them.
Okay. You go ahead and you settle in by the pond, and just do some meditation. You don't see either of them. You might be able to go looking for Neb if you want, but it is totally fine for you also to sit and rest. I'm assuming Dendron thinks his friends will be headed back to Titan Crest now that the will has been collected. And so
Right.
I'm assuming you're just waiting for them to come back.
Yeah, and I think that I would have known when Lodestone rushed over to me and tore off a piece. Like, it was almost like a handoff. You know what I mean? Like, almost like a relay. Oh, if he's coming this close, like, let's not forget this. So yeah, I think that as Dendron is piecing together whatever, effects of memory loss or what have you happen, of like, I don't remember the last few seconds specifically, but I do know that it seems like they got what they needed, and I remember interposing myself. So now, the game is waiting. Yep.
Okay. Then you are soaking it up, slowly letting the effects of Death's Toll fade, unless you want to try and activate Ashbourne, at which point it'll only take you 3 hours to recover instead of 5. But
It does say automatic, so I didn't know if that was because that I think I probably only unlocked that when I died via fire. You know what I mean?
you unlocked it after.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think
because you came back, you got hit with Death's Toll, and then you got your class and your ability. So next time.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So then, with that, we'll go ahead and we'll shift back to the other three, who are up by Xyla in the meadow and the root bower. What would you guys like to do?
Well, I recommend we head back to town before we get killed by some other bug-infested pig pansy or something. I mean, I don't feel very safe without my friend here that usually does all of the protecting.
Thank you for your vote of confidence.
Look, I'm just saying, you've got two very squirrely individuals. I feel like you never let the parents outnumber the children. Oh, wait, the reverse of that. Never let the children outnumber the parents.
Yes.
Well, you got it from the child's perspective. So,
Especially adult children. Don't let the adult children outnumber the actual adults.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm heavy. You don't want to carry us both, do you?
Okay.
I'm also I'm looking at I'm also looking at Felt. Like I said, you got some acorn. You got she gave you some pine cones.
Yes.
Can I see one? I'm just really curious about it.
How many did she give me?
I don't know.
She
I
gave
just
you
know
4.
there's a couple.
4. I will present him with one.
Okay. And what I'm going to do is just like, pull up my jeweler's lens and just kind of just like emphatically just study it, and like not for mostly purely on the ability to just like learn more about it.
Nice.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a logic or an attunement roll.
All right, attunement or logic. Oh, they're both the same. All right.
And while he's scanning that, I'm gonna look around the meadow. Is there like a clear footpath leading out of this meadow? Like, did Catrice have a way in and out that we just didn't find because we didn't know about it?
No.
Okay.
No.
And
Fair enough.
as Lodestone's doing that, I'm like, my other hand grasping his head because I'm still perched on your shoulder and you're moving around a lot, and I'm trying to like. I didn't see crap with it. No, it's a whopping. I got a 2 on my 20 and I got a 5 on my 8. So
They're pretty. They look
They're
different than
these-
the other
yeah.
pine cones.
they're different and pretty. Yeah.
They are probably just as edible.
Yeah.
So, are you guys?
I'm gonna hand it back to, and I'm gonna guess what they are for. And I'm just gonna hand it back to Philly. I'm like, these make you giant, by the way. I'm pretty sure. And I just hand it back to him.
Solid. So, what are you guys doing now? Are you going to head back to Titan Crest? What is
Yeah.
Unless someone stops him, Lodestone is just going to start tromping back in the way they came.
Yeah, I am going to follow my soul protector now. So, yeah.
Okay. You guys leave the clearing, and hopefully you guys can't hear the dogs barking outside. I had my window open to keep it cool in the office, but
No, some wolves in the forest, you know.
yeah, some wolves in the forest. There's some baying in the distance. Yeah, standard thing. And you leave the clearing and start heading into the forest, and you hear a deep hum, and then from above there's some rustling of trees and of branches and leaves as Nakimra hovers into sight and lands on a tree branch up above you. So, were you able to find the will?
Oh boy. Oh, right, now we need to decide how to deal with this.
Is he how far up in this tree is he?
I'd say 20 feet up.
Okay.
Like it's a good distance. It's a respectable distance in dealing with normal people.
Well, I'm going to say we did, and good news. In the will, she states that you should be returned to the verdant plains or whatever. So, you know, I guess you're free.
That is not the same as being free.
Clarify.
I don't want to go back. So if you would just give me the will and let me scratch out some of the lines, and then you can go on your way.
Do you come from the verdant plains?
Roll a manipulation, or roll manipulation.
Yeah. Okay. Manipulation it is. Also at 5. So this is 2d6, yes?
Mm-hmm.
2d6, 2d20. Okay. We have 21.
21. He stares at you for a long, hard time. Yes.
I see. Well then, surely if you are returned to the verdant plains from which you came, then you could do whatever you wish from there, as she is releasing you from your bond.
Where did you come from?
I don't know if you could understand the answer. A very external place that is not here.
Were you allowed to do everything you wanted to while you were there?
Well, I mean, I got away with a lot, but no, within the reasons of the law. Are you saying that you want to be completely free from the law? Were you some kind of slave in the verdant plains?
Are you going to let me see the will or not?
Are you gonna come down here to take a look?
He's looking back and forth between you guys.
It's Clark. I'm gonna do a perception surge.
Okay.
My ears perk up, and I'm just like intently watching the situation. It's like an on-demand
perception
spidey
surge
sense, is what it is.
For what? Like, because perception surge gives you advantage on something. Are you wanting to do a roll?
I want to basically, it says here.
Sense motive.
Enabling them to detect subtle details or hidden threats. It's an effective tool for gaining a sensory advantage while they're in a calm or high-stress situation.
Yeah, so I'll let you do a presence roll with advantage.
Okay. All right. That's a D8. Oh, that's a 20. All right. 25.
Nice.
25. You can tell that he is feeling less comfortable by the second. Which brings me to a question I have for you guys, because he rolled very well. What are your vibes and intentions at the moment?
Okay.
Especially
Lodestone is going to try to physically restrain him as soon as he comes within arm's reach.
Yeah. So I think Feli has gotten the clear vibes. He's very concerned that this is, to his knowledge as an external, his, growing up with whatever law was on the outside. There's the kind of fiction concept of like pacts with demons and things like that. So I'm like, okay, she's got this bonded creature from some other place, and then like he is becoming dangerous or nefarious, and the will does not seem to be continuing to enslave him. It's not like it's, and he's passed on to Neb or anything like that. So I'm like,
not that you could tell, but there was plenty stuff in there that you didn't understand.
Right. So I'm not like 100% sold that Nakimra is evil or anything like that, but I'm highly concerned about that. So I'm like, so my current intentions are, I am probably going to say, look, I'll let you see it, but I cannot promise that I'm going to let you modify this because I no longer trust you.
Okay. So yeah, you guys have this stare down at each other, and Nakimra is going to open his shell and say, I'll just have to find another way, then won't I? And his wings are going to buzz, and he's going to disappear up into the trees.
Is there
Well, that was ominous!
Is there anything vaguely baseball-sized laying around, like a rock?
Sure. I mean, there can be... I think it is likely that there's something.
Because
I don't know if it's a rock, but...
If it's just
even
like a decent sized length of
there's a branch.
There's
something you can huck something.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm going to pick it up and I'm gonna huck it at him.
Okay.
Is that a precision roll?
That'll be precision with disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Okay. That's probably not gonna do it. That's a 7 + 1 8.
Nope.
It gets hung up in the under canopy, and
it bounces off some of the other branches.
Can I look at Lodestone confusingly and just grab an acorn and just throw it at him too and see if it does anything?
At Lodestone or
no, at
no.
the
he sees me huck something at him, and the act of me just suddenly throwing something.
Like so. How about this then? So Clark, what I'm going to do is I'm going to like leap up into the. So it might take a couple turns. Leap up into the above the tree canopy, and just throw one of my like shrapnel things.
Okay. So you
the
quickly scamper up the tree and into the boughs. You can huck it. You see Nakimra disappearing into the distance, and he's hard to make out as he's dipping down above the tree line.
Okay.
But you can.
I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna just even purely for cinematic reasons. I'm just gonna throw down my my binocular-esque like lenses on there. I'm just gonna grab one of those like fidgety shove like group of things that I have, and I'm just gonna make a wish that I can do what I did like earlier and just toss
Yeah.
it.
Okay, so you are at disadvantage too, but roll it.
All right, but I have my throw plus what I have. I got my throw skill too.
Oh, actually, no. At this distance, it's going to be very hard. This is going to be more of a thematic gesture.
It's more of a thematic, and I do have a, because you don't want me to hit him, obviously.
Well,
and
at this point, because he can fly, so that's the
Yeah.
problem, is he's gotten so far away at this point.
Yeah. And
Since you don't have a sling and you don't have the sling abilities or anything like that, he's just outside of your. He's like outside of your max throwing range.
yeah, and I do have that specialty that says can hit giant insects at a distance too. You gave me that.
Okay, go ahead and try it.
It was a +4. All right, so I'm just throwing my throw. What is it? Precision then?
Precision plus throw. Yeah.
Okay. And how does that plus throw thing work then?
You just add a straight bonus equal to the number of ranks.
Okay. All right, so my precision is 2d6 now too. Yeah, that's too bad. All right, no, that's 9 plus 7. No, 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
What you do notice, though, as your acorn sails off and then drops back into the trees, and you hear a
And a
little,
little poof, like there was like.
yeah, some like leaves get thrown up as the acorn explodes, and you realize that he is heading straight back towards Titan Crest.
Okay.
So
I leap down and I say I grazed him a little bit, and it looks like he's heading towards Titan Crest.
I really wish they would implement fast travel in this thing.
In a way,
So-
they have. Usually, I just lay asleep on Dendron.
fast travel. Its name is Dendron.
I don't think I move particularly fast, but if you're asleep, yeah, what a transportation.
I mean, if you guys want to go ahead, I can send you to Titan Crest real quick, and then I'll just meet up with you later.
Wow.
He's not. You can tell that he's joking about this. He's not actually going to smack you with a hammer until you run out of hit points.
Felly trudges along with less
Okay.
complaint.
Okay, so you guys head back towards Titan Crest.
Yes.
Dendron, can you give me a precision roll, please?
I can. Not great at precision.
That's okay. This will be at disadvantage too.
Okay, so does that mean I roll 2d6 and take the lower?
You roll 2 extra dice. So the way advantage and disadvantage work is that the number tells you how many extra dice you roll.
Okay.
And then if you have advantage, that means you drop that many of the lowest. And if you have disadvantage, you discard that many of the highest.
And this is strictly for the d6s that I have related to precision.
Because you currently do what, 1d6?
Yeah, I only have plus
Yeah,
1d6.
so you'll roll 3d6
Take the lowest.
and discard the 2 highest.
For clarification,
Not bad.
disadvantage number 2, not disadvantage as well.
Right.
I mean, also, yes. You have disadvantage and also advantage.
Can I doubt I can, but can I add nature magic to this for whatever reason?
No.
Okay, no worries. I still get a 19.
19.
Yeah.
I wanted to give you a chance, but yeah, that's not quite enough.
It was good considering dropping a bunch, but yeah. All right.
So,
I'm still remembering.
I'm assuming that you guys are going to make your way back to Titan Crest.
Yes.
How fast are you going to move?
As fast as we can go without exhausting ourselves. Well, I'm riding anyway on top of Lodestone.
mean-
so.
So for relevant skills here, I have trailblazing, physical exertion, endure, and athletics running. So I'm going to be moving as quickly as I can manage.
Okay, because basically there's more or less 3 speeds you can go at. You can go at a recovery speed, which will allow you to recover your other resources. You can move at a fast sustained speed where you won't recover anything. And then you can be running, which will actively drain poise over time. Which are you thinking? Like, if you do the one to drain poise, you'll get to do a roll to add some of that stuff together to see how much it affects you. But it will.
Granted, given that, you know, Lodestone wants to get there quickly. Lodestone is not in any shape to move real quickly right now. I am down to 9 points and I'm completely out of bond points.
Okay. So we'll just say that you guys go ahead and give me an endurance roll, and you can add what was it? The endure or the physical load. You won't be able to add running to this.
I have both endure and physical exertion.
Add endure.
Okay, that's better. Anyway, that's rank 2. The D10 that rolled off. Come on. Ooh, not great. That is a total of 8.
Total of 8.
5 plus 1 plus 2 ranks of endure.
Okay. You're trying to go at a steady pace, but you can't keep from pushing yourself, especially since you're carrying Quindle. You are going to drain away the rest of your poise, making it back to Titan Crest. Felly, if I could get a endurance roll from you as well.
Yeah, certainly. Oh boy, this is just a great roll for me.
Am I going to lose all of it? It's 9 points.
You'll lose 6.
6? Okay. I've got 3 points of poise left.
I get a total of 16.
Total of 16. Okay. You will just lose 3 poise. So you guys are kind of skirting that thing where you're pushing and jogging for a little bit and then slowing down. You're like, no, we don't want to drain ourselves, but like the urgency of it all
and I think
that all difficult.
Narratively, where that loss of poise is coming from is we get back to that cliff, and I activate my slingshot to get us to jump down the cliff without squishing my buddies. Like, I got Quindle under one arm, I got Philly on the other, and then I just burn all of the poise that I need to jump down without crushing everybody.
That works. So, I think this is actually a good spot because I have been drinking a lot of caffeine. We're going to take a quick bio break, and then we'll be back as quick as we can. Thank you. I don't know how many people are watching right now because I have like 20 windows open, and most of them are YouTube. But anybody who is watching, thank you. We will be back.
See you in a jiffy.
All right, I'll be right back too.
He's looking back and forth between you guys.
It's Clark. I'm gonna do a perception surge.
Okay.
My ears.
It's weird since I'm on camera. I feel like I should be talking and saying something, even though I have no idea how many people are here, if any, because it is Saturday morning. But yeah, I guess I will just kind of ramble as I do to myself. Yeah, Spawn Point came out yesterday. Very, very nervous about all of that. Tried very hard with that book, did my best, and as with anything, right, you know that the second you go back and look, you can see more. There's always things that can be made better, always things that can be made better. But I am very, very proud of where that all ended up. Welcome back. I'm just rambling to myself because it felt weird to just sit here doing nothing.
That's perfectly reasonable.
But yeah, it was just rambling about. It's always those things of like, you always know that there's stuff that can be done better, but overall I'm still very, very proud of this book. It is a chonker. I knew it was a big book when we turned it in, but it wasn't until the end when we got it finalized for physical copy that I was like, oh, all right, because it's like 620 pages. It's a big book.
Yeah, I think the Amazon listing said, I think it said like 554. But I think that's the difference between trade paperback and mass market paperback. So
Yeah, I don't know.
Amazon is listing it as trade paperback. So
because then when I go down and I look at the stats, see it says print length 621, and
I'm just going off
that's
of
on Kindle. That's on Kindle, so that's 621 on
okay.
Kindle.
Yeah, so it might be
And then
formatted
554 on
Yeah.
paperback. Still, that's it's a big book.
So what is that, about 150,000 words?
Mm-hmm.
Thereabouts? Okay.
Yep. Right around there. I don't remember what we ended up with exactly, but it was
Okay.
around that. So
I was trying to do the mental math. It's been a while since I worked in publishing, so
yeah, because it's what? It's about like 300 words a page ish.
yeah, roughly.
Yeah.
All right, I have to go, Your Majesty. Yep. Good luck in England.
They're gonna be okay.
Yeah,
Secret
he'll
Service
be
all
fine.
set.
Yeah, he's all set. Yeah. Yeah, he keeps calling me for advice.
Oh man. So I mean, while I've got you guys and we're waiting for the other guys to come back, since we didn't get much of a chance to do any kind of debrief with the other stuff, how are you guys liking the system, and how do you like the ability options and all that kind of stuff?
I really like the fact that it is the abilities are derived as you go based on your actions in game. I like that. I like that it's not just a standard preset list of options that you have to pick the best fit scenario out of. It does mean that it's more work to develop those abilities,
Yes.
but I like the flexibility of it.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like when you get down to like the difference between, like when we were talking about this earlier, Clark, the difference between role play and role play. Like, is it ROLL or is it
Yeah.
ROLE? And it reminds me a lot with like the Fate Core system or the Powered by Apocalypse system, where it's every single game and every character is so unique, and then but it also envelops where you're able to get skills based off of failures as well as getting them
Yeah.
based off of successful things as well.
Yeah.
So
Mhm. Mhm. Well, good. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. That is one of my favorite parts about the system. It's almost like City of Mist meets He Who Fights with Monsters meets Roll for Shoes is kind of
I
is
think.
almost
I
how
mean,
it is.
I think of it like Ian was saying. There's a lot of games where you can like plan your character far in advance, right? Like we've all played with somebody who knows what their level 7 choice is going to be
Mhm.
when they get there, but it's like, okay, let's get there. You're level 2. You know what I mean? So you can like plot that out, but like this is almost a way more like player and character specific. Like it almost asks you not to think about what you want your character to be mechanically. Like think about what you want your character to be like help me outline your character arc. Like let's think about this in
Mhm.
small arc choices, and like I can provide you opportunities to do these things that because I know you are aiming towards theme XYZ, but also like the choices you make when I throw you curveballs are equally as important and may surprise all of us. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. Now that we have everybody back, we can dive back into the action, even though it's not going to be particularly action packed. So at least not yet. So you guys make your way back to Titan Crest. You are worn out. You are weary. You make it to the edge of the town.
One thing I do want to make sure is during our trip, I am going to express my opinion to Quindle and Feli that I think that Nakimura sabotaged Catrice's experiment, which resulted in her death. I think that he is the reason why all of her equipment was exploded next to her corpse. That is I'm trying to explain my actions and my motives behind why I picked up a stick and hucked it at him whenever he went and flew away.
Yeah. So Feli will say, I too am suspicious of him just from his behavior and what I could make out in the will. And I of course I convey what I read about Nakimura in the will because I know it's hard to pass. And so I'm concerned that he's coming back to assassinate us or steal the will or something. Like, that was a clear threat. I'll have to find another way. I don't think, like, finding another way is hire an attorney. I think it's probably...
I think he might be going after Neb.
I know when I like nicked him a bit with my shrapnel I threw. He did look very annoyed, and he had that look in his eye about it too. I think you're both right. Yeah.
A little compulsive liar.
I love it.
I'm consistently in a point where I feel like undervalued, so that's why I keep throwing some of this stuff out here.
And so one other thing, as we're rolling up on Titan Crest, Lodestone is feeling wrung out. The British have a slang term, shattered. Whenever you are just completely exhausted, that's how he feels right now. Because he's, in addition to being out of bond points, almost out of poise, he's also 8 hit points down. from this venture, and he's feeling kind of rough, and he remembers Felly getting those pine cones, and he's going to ask Felly, like, can I see one of those pine cones for a second?
Yes, here you are.
And I'm gonna take a look at it. I'm gonna give it a sniff. Does it give me medicinal vibes, like with the smell and
Strictly party vibes. That's it. Silent was like breaking rules. Sorry.
No, it does not. It does not seem like medicine.
okay? Does it strike me as being very similar to the first pine cone that I ate?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
So in that case, I'll hand it back as like, I think this does the same thing that the other ones did.
mhm. So
Which-
I'll put it in the pouch. Where are we at this time? Are we at the edge of town?
Felly and Quindle, give me a willpower roll. please.
Right.
And while they do that, can I just say that so Dendron's not doing nothing. While I've been standing here recovering and failed that failed that check that I made earlier. A question would be, not seeing Neb come to the tavern, all these things. I'd probably make my way towards like the city gates we left from, perch myself in a place where I might see my friends coming back. I know the
Okay.
direction they're coming from, that kind of thing. And just do my silent sentry Arborian thing.
Nice.
Okay.
So I got a 19 on this willpower roll.
I got a 17 plus 2. I also got a 19.
Oh.
So, as you guys are thinking through everything that has happened and trying to understand and piece stuff together, both of you start to realize that you don't remember the way back to the clearing. You can remember how to,
interesting.
like, you remember where Titan Crest is, and
Yeah.
you remember that it was kind of north,
Mhm.
maybe northwest.
Yeah.
But that's all you remember.
Now, okay, and now I'm curious because keep in mind I did not eat a pine cone. Irrelevant, probably because I got drugged the old-fashioned way. But I ended up not eating the pine. Okay, so I just don't remember. I wonder. Huh.
Does Lodestone remember?
Lodestone does, yeah.
This might have to do with the marks that we.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure if the pine cone would have made that very quick, but the marks made it certain, or if it's separate. But one way or another, I do not recall. But am I aware that I notice that I can't recall, and this is
Yeah,
this is
with
weird.
the 19 of willpower, you notice that there's some stuff that's fuzzy, right? Because you're
Oh.
trying to piece together like everything that happened, and you kind of hit a part where a bit after the cliff,
Mhm.
like you remember all of that very clearly, but then stuff after that starts to feel like it was months ago, and that kind of
Ooh.
hazy of like, yeah, we were kind of like it was kind of in this direction. That kind of fuzziness
Oh, that's
for normal
interesting,
people,
yeah.
maybe not for you, Aaron. I don't.
I'm trying to relate. Yeah. Yeah. Got it. That's strange. So the tree definitely drugged us. Well, I guess we don't need to know how to get back there. Exactly.
And then the only thing that I will add, just because, one shot, I make more allowances for whatever kind of stuff, is Zyla gave these to you when she said, please come back. And then she gave you the pine cones. So that's some stuff that's going to be kicking around in your brain. You can do what you will with that. But for now,
Mhm.
unless you guys express that, that's kind of where you're at. You, Quindle and Felly are both like, that's kind of, And Lodestone doesn't notice anything strange.
Yeah.
And yeah, with that, when that comes to mind, I kind of like crawl up trees just to look at just to kind of get an idea of where we are geographically, and just get confused and come back down again. And
Yeah, well, Feli does communicate, essentially what I communicated. Most of it will be in character because he loves to jabber. But just that I strangely don't recall how we got to Catrice's bower, and I'm not sure why.
And I think this is what you guys will be discussing when you come onto Titan Crest and see Dendron waiting by the edge of town. There aren't really walls or gates here, but there is a place you went to the side of town that you guys left from that morning, and you were waiting there. And Dendron is waiting for you.
Just waving big.
Waving wrinkles.
Yeah.
Looking a little haggard, probably.
Feli runs up.
Hug a tree.
Yes, Feli runs to hug a tree.
So Lodestone's also going to come up to him, and he's going to punch him. Not like I'm trying to inflict physical harm upon you, but like that horseplay in the locker room kind of punch. That was a little bit harder than it needed to be.
Yep.
And he's gonna say, "Tell me you're gonna do that next time before you do it, you dope."
Fair. It seemed pretty dire, but actually, next time it'll be even more interesting.
I crawl up and kind of like see if I have to probably rebuild my little nest area.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I probably
You
didn't
do.
come-
You
Yeah.
do. You definitely do.
And
that is one thing, Dendron. When you respawned, you had none of your gear.
Mm-hmm. I didn't have any gear to begin with. I
mean,
flavored.
You maybe had a pack with some foodstuffs and stuff like that. You got none of that. All of that is gone.
What is Dendron's diameter at breast height, by the way, DBH?
What is DBH's DBH?
Yeah.
Good question. Probably pretty thick. A good. How
18 to 20.
Yeah, like 16 to 20 inches. Like, pretty solid. Probably more. I don't know.
Okay, so yeah,
Level wide,
Feli
human.
wraps his arms around Dendron, and says, "I'm glad you made it back, friend."
So,
and I look at him like look straight into his eyes, and I say thank you for saving us from the bugs. And I just kind of like pat him on the side.
Yeah, and I nod to my friends, but I do look at Lodestone and I do say, I'm sorry for how that did happen. It was kind of more desperation than anything, but it's not a habit I intend on making too frequently.
I don't know. Who knows with how your class is shaping up?
Right? Yeah, exactly. It might be the play. We'll see.
So, you guys are back in Titan Crest. What would you like to do?
Oh gosh, I think we need to recover.
Lodestone needs a meal.
Yeah.
Lodestone needs a meal.
Let's find a place. Let's find somewhere we can relax and eat. Yeah.
Well, there is.
We had
Titan's Rest.
rooms last night, so
Yeah.
Yep. You guys can get more rooms without a problem. Is that what you're gonna do? You're just gonna get rooms and settle in for the night?
I believe, didn't Neb say that like he was going to meet us back at Titan's Rest in a certain amount of time, if I'm not mistaken?
It was not specified.
Wasn't
okay.
specified.
He wanted you to bring the will to him.
He also said he would find us, didn't he? Am I mistaken there?
I think Nakeem Ra said he would find
Well,
us.
Well, I know he said that in that way, but I thought Neb said he would find us when we were like, "How do we find you?"
He might have. Who can say? We'll go with yes. I will trust your memory over mine on that, Aaron. Yes, he said he would find you.
so Lodestone is going to sit down, and he is going to start putting food in his face because he is wrung out. And through the crunches of the truly unconscionable amount of salt that he uses, he's going to say, if we think that Nakimura is going after Neb, do you think that we should probably go find Neb or bring Neb here sooner rather than later?
Well, I suppose that is probably the most prudent action. And hypothetically, I suppose we could draw up a new contract for protection of Neb, because that would definitely be a very separate set of actions, as opposed to acquiring the will, which we have done. But I would be amenable to that, I suppose. But in our current state, I'm not sure how able we would be to protect him. I suppose if we could get him to the inn.
I mean, if nothing else, just warn him that we think Nakimura's coming after him.
Right.
I don't want us to get up in the morning to go and bring Neb this document and find out that this Bajelephant has gone and squished him, you know?
I will pass along that I have not seen either of them since I respawned, and I looked ish.
So who is
I've been dealing with some.
Who is serving us at the tavern right now? At the inn.
I mean, we'll say it's Bethany again.
Okay, nice. So I'm going to because I know Bethany knew Neb or knew of Neb, so I'm going to say, Bethany, do you know how we would get word to Neb? We haven't been able to find him since we've gotten back into town.
Oh, you need to talk to Neb then, do you, love? Oh, yeah. I can give you some directions to his place. I think it's where he's at most of these days.
That would be most helpful, thank you.
And she'll write down some directions. She's actually going to give you 2 places where she's like, well, see, this is the one where he technically staying, but then this one is Ben's place, and he's been staying there a lot more.
Got it. Thank you. Okay, so then question. Recovery riff. Would my recovery riff this music be able to affect Dendron at all with his death's toll, or is it unable to affect death's toll?
It will be unable to affect death's toll, but it took you guys several hours to get back.
Nice.
So at this point, Dendron, everything, your max right now is probably 4.
Okay, so any attribute that's 5, I'm treating as a 4.
Mm-hmm. And anything that's a 4 or below is what it would normally be.
Okay.
And over the course of dinner, you guys have recovered your bond points and recovered your poise. All of that is normal. You're slowly recovering health as you are resting and breaking.
Nice.
How slowly?
Yeah.
It's about a point.
Nice.
Okay, so it's safe to say that I have recovered 1 point of health.
Yeah, or a couple. I forget. I have. Let's go. Yeah, you've recovered a couple of points of health.
Okay.
We'll call it 2. Okay.
Got it.
When I respawned, do I respawn at like no health and then slowly recover, or?
It is at the maximum health for what your attributes are, which is very low.
Gotcha.
So it is slowly recovering. It does not recover as fast as your maximum.
Okay.
Got it.
I'm while they're doing this, I'm just gonna like perch up on the Dendron. I'm doing a little math here. Did we put in any hardship allowance? Did we actually? I think we're getting paid a little less than we should be getting paid right now.
I didn't put in the usual hazard pay clauses that I really needed to.
I think we should have, and that's my
Yeah.
point. And then I'm saying that if we're coming back with more information than what he's expecting us to give, I believe we should be able to hold that and say we got something extra. That was good. You know, we did die once while doing this, so can we spice something? I mean, listen, we're not altruistic heroes here. We did this with a contract in mind. So I'm
So-
just saying.
For the sake of brevity, quibbling over contract and stuff aside, what are your plans for the night? Are you just gonna rest? Are you gonna try and go find Neb? What is the plan?
Okay, yeah. I'm feeling better after he was getting hangry and now he is no longer hangry. So
Okay. So, you guys, are you gonna go right away? You gonna finish your meals? What's
I'd say
well,
finish a meal and then go.
okay? Okay. So yeah, you guys are back full on poise. I think at this point you have each probably recovered, just to play it fast and loose a little bit. We'll say you've recovered about four hit points. Dendron, you would probably be up closer to probably up closer to 8 at least,
Nice.
because you spent
I will
time
take
chilling
it.
while they were coming back to you,
Yeah.
whereas they had to hike
Nice.
the miles back. So
Yeah. Sorry. Apologies.
so you guys, you head out and you go across town and you find your way to Neb's place, which it's just a
Hmm.
That would be probably. I should do that.
It
since
would
I
be
have a
the
fighter.
you
yeah,
should
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
do
I
that.
mean-
guy.
I'm the precision guy. All right, not bad.
18. So as you guys are approaching this row house, Quindle, you see it's hard to make out at first. There's a bird that is perched on the top of the house, and you're not sure why you can pick it out because it seems to be dark feathers, dark.
So I'm gonna look at since it's a glowish, I'm gonna look at Felly, and then but since it's like nature-ish, I'm gonna look at Dendron. I'm like, that's a little off.
I'm happy to try and identify, but the light is not much I can probably do much about. Okay.
Wait. Okay. I want to try. I want to try. Okay. Yeah, so performance and smooth talking, maybe? I feel like I'm smooth talking a bird, but it's fine. Let's see. There's prismatic piper. Disposition towards you. If they want to help and are leaning towards trusting you by hesitation, then hesitation goes away. Maybe calming presence? No? Okay. Okay. Let's see. So that's 6. 20. And at disadvantage 2, you said? Okay. There we go. All right. Let's see. So we get these. We get the lowest 2. So that's still, with my skill of performance, that brings me to 24. Okay, so there is this luminous bird, and Felly just kind of quickly, at a glance, at the same time, as
Felly's a birder.
As Dendron, sees this thing starting to fly off, Felly just reaches deep down inside himself and says, "Okay, look, if I were a bird, if I were that bird, what is the one thing that someone could say to me to stop me in my tracks and really make me rethink whether I want to leave, or whether that's my destiny right there? That is a purposeful place. Boy, those people down there look quest-worthy." And I see the morphology of the bird, and I'm like, okay, this is what the chest structure looks like. I see this russet-pated chuff. I'm like, oh, I know what kind of sounds that throat makes. And I'm like, all right, bird, here we go. And I whip out this flute, and I then try to put all of my passion and my hope, and also as if it's like a call from this bird's presumably dead mother, telling them, hey, you'll need it over there. All of this is just emanating out into my performance.
How far away, like how high is this roof? Can I cage this bird is my question.
Okay, presence. Okay. So it says if they're leaning towards trusting you but have some hesitation because you've just met, then that hesitation goes away.
Pet the dog. That's gonna do it. That's gonna do it. So,